Hello and welcome to the channel. This is my reaction to Antony's latest Manchester United news. Manchester United put a statement saying that all players that did not take part in international games will be back to training on Monday. However, in relation to Antony, he will not be back on Monday. His return will be delayed for him to be able to deal with the allegations that he's currently facing. The allegations that were made by Gabriela, one of his ex-girlfriends, in which she says that she was the victim of domestic violence. In particular, an incident that took part in January where Antony pushed her to the bed and followed on top of her, causing her breast implant to be dislocated. Now, she described this incident, and then her lawyer a few days ago claimed that Manchester United tried to cover up the incident by calling the club's players officer, who then called the club's doctor to check Gabriela where the incident took place in a hotel instead of allowing her to go to the hospital. Now, the lawyers are claiming that the fact that the doctors went to check Gabriela in the hotel and prevented her to avoid her from going to the hospital was to avoid any suspicion by the authorities. Now, Manchester United then denied, and to be fair, just because the club's doctor going to check the player's partner is quite common, and that in itself is not a proof that the club tried to cover it up. So Manchester United denied the cover up, and so now today we had a statement by Manchester United saying that Antony will not be allowed to return to train on Monday in order to allow him to address the current allegations. The club made a statement that was signed off by Chief Executive Arnold, and he consulted Ten Hag. The statement said Richard Arnold consulted Ten Hag, and they decided that it's better if Antony doesn't return for training on Monday, and instead he focused on addressing those allegations, and that way he avoids bad publicity and to the club and to the distraction to the other players. So in my view, that's a clever way of suspending Antony. So Manchester United doesn't want to admit that Antony is suspended, and therefore they ask Antony. Antony also put a statement saying that he agrees with the club. He and the club decide together that it's best if he doesn't come back to training, if he focus on addressing those issues, and it's better to avoid bad publicity to the club and distractions to the other players. In my opinion, Manchester United contacted Antony. They didn't want to suspend him publicly, so they found out a clever way of suspending Antony without saying that he's currently suspended. And I understand why the club has to take a very strong stand on domestic violence. I understand why the club would do that, would suspend the player who's been accused of domestic violence. However, I'm not comfortable with the idea that people, whether they're footballers, whether they're politicians or celebrities, I'm not comfortable with the idea that just because someone is making allegations, you haven't been charged, the police is still investigating the allegation, and already you're being suspended. I'm not comfortable with this approach. I think the best approach to deal with the allegation would be to not suspend the player until at least he's charged. Because in the UK at least, I don't know how the law operates in Brazil, but in the UK at least, you should be considered innocent until proven guilty. But in the current state of affairs, anything to do with the domestic violence, because it's such a sensitive issue, it seems to me that we are taking a different approach. While somebody's being investigated of domestic violence, he has to be suspended, even before he gets charged, even before the evidence get looked into. And the problem with that, in my view, is that it creates a very bad precedent. Because a United fan made a good point in one of the YouTube channels. He said, "What about?" He said as a joke, "What about if our club Manchester United play women to accuse the best players from the other clubs, from the rival clubs, say Manchester City, Liverpool? What about if we pay women to accuse those best players of domestic violence or of being their girlfriend or whatever? And those players get suspended, so we get the advantage." It sounds like a joke, but he's making a very serious point. And the point is, people will abuse. Those type of decisions will open the floodgates, because there are a lot of people out there who are spiteful. There are a lot of people out there who just looking for money. They will accuse players, and in the meantime, while those players being investigated, they will be suspended. Ex-girlfriends will get spiteful and accuse their former lovers of domestic violence just to get back at them. This is the precedent that those decisions are setting. Anyway, I'll keep you informed in relation to Antony. Antony also gave an interview actually to a Brazilian TV station, and in which he said that he's innocent. He was actually in tears. Antony was in tears. He said he's innocent. He said how much the allegations is affecting him personally, how much is affecting his mom, his family, his close friends. And he reiterated his innocence. And he was also asked if Manchester United suspended his contract, how he was going to deal with it. And Antony said that his suspension is not in his mind at the moment, because he believes that he's innocent. He's 100% sure that he's innocent. So he's not even thinking about how Manchester United may cancel his contract. He's just focused. But that was before Manchester United put a statement saying that he wasn't coming back to training. I would like to see how he's going to react now. But this is the situation at the moment. Antony gave an interview. He reiterated his innocence. Then the club made a statement saying that they spoke to Antony, they spoke to Ten Hag, and they decided altogether that it's best if Antony doesn't return for training on Monday. Instead, he focused on addressing those allegations. The problem with that also, another issue, is that we don't know how long Antony will be away, how long Antony will be suspended. Because in my view, that's a suspension. It's equivalent to a suspension. You can't train, you can't play, your career is on hold. Is it very much equivalent to a suspension without saying it? Anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because those are the best ways to support this channel. And I'll keep you informed, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.